Hello, 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 hello. Once again, hello. This is Coach Powell with Coach Powell Training Development. I'm so happy to be with you today to talk to you about our brand new episode, and it's the last episode in our series about developing your hero council. Today, I'm hoping to share with you some of the magic that I've learned and explored and helped others to understand when it comes to developing their personal advisory council, their mentorship program, anything that's going to help them extend their business and their professional lives beyond themselves is great stuff for you to catch up on, for you to listen to. If you haven't looked at the previous episodes of this series, I encourage you to jump forward, to go ahead and do that. There are so many good things out there for you to know, so many good things for you to learn. We're trying to do everything we can to bring you tons of information and tons of support to your professional life and to your growth and development. That's my job. That's my life. This is what I do. I'm Coach Powell, run Coach Powell Training Development, and for the last 20 years, we've been helping entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professionals reach that next level of success, that next rung on that ladder. In fact, we're so phenomenally good at that. When they reach that next rung on that ladder, they find it very easy to overcome new obstacles and new barriers as they appear, because they have with them a system, a strategy, a technique that they can use to overcome any obstacle that they might face in the future of their business and their entrepreneurship, their profession, whatever they're trying to do. Today's episode is super, super special because we're going to be reviewing the benefits of what it means, again, to have a hero council, but we're also going to be looking at the values of that you're going to have to embrace if you want to do the thing like Nick Fury does the thing. And I'm going to try something a little special today. This is the first time I'm going to try to embed a PowerPoint deck slide into the conversation. And that way, everybody will get a chance to think and reflect and ask themselves some serious questions about the lessons we've learned over the last couple of weeks, and also catch up to what we talked about in the past. And so let's make sure you do that. Make sure you pay attention. For those of you who are following us for the first time, or you're logging in for the first time, whether you're logging in on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, thumbs up, like, subscribe, share as much as you can with anybody who you can. And I recognize we have quite a few people who are logged on today. We try to make sure we have an engaging and exciting and unique environment for entrepreneurs. We're business friendly. And so if you have an offer or something that you're trying to promote or share with other business leaders and entrepreneurs in the universe, go ahead and put that information in the chat. Put the websites that you want to share in the chat, the programs you want to share in the chat, anything about yourself and your business you want to share, put it all in the chat. One, I want to give you a shout out if I can. Two, I want to make sure that you get recognized. As this show is produced and reproduced and shared and moved throughout the internet, then you might get an opportunity to do some things that you wouldn't get an opportunity to do. You might meet some new people that you wouldn't have an opportunity to meet before. So feel free to chat it up amongst yourselves. Feel free to put information in chat, ask questions in the chat, everything you can. Again, this is broadcast live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on YouTube every single Friday around about the 3 o'clock hour. And we go until about 3:45, 3:50 or so. But we'd like to answer all your questions. If you have any thoughts, any comments, smart remarks, any ideas, throw them in the chat. It's all available, whether you're watching this as a recording or you're watching this live. I want to make sure you have an opportunity to engage and interact. And even if you have a question for me or a question for somebody else in the audience, it doesn't make a difference. If you put that information in the chat, put your information in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know who you are, what your business might be. Again, load it up and let's engage. And it doesn't matter whether you're engaging now or engaging later, but engagement is critical, and it is helpful to your interactions and to make sure that you've got everything you need from every place you could possibly be, right? This is Coach Powell, and we are getting ready to get things started. But first, a little bit of a promotional break. Here we go. Okay, guys, bear with me. I'm going to put the PowerPoint deck in play, And if for some reason you lose me and I can't see you or you can't see me, that's literally what we're working on right now. So I love for you if you can interact with me and let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat, or just let me know that you can still hear me as I add the PowerPoint deck on to what we're doing. And we're going to get this party going. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. All right. This is your Hero Council. This is what we're talking about. We've been talking about this for the last 7 weeks. We've been talking about what you need to do to build your own Hero Council, the Nick Fury approach. So I want you to think like Nick Fury. I want you to understand Nick Fury himself wasn't super. He didn't have the powers. He wasn't a mutant. He wasn't a god. He wasn't anything. If you understand the Marvel character of Nick Fury, but what he was a very unique person in terms of his ability to see and gather and work with people outside of his own talents and his own abilities. He was able to capture all those things. Now, I know you may think that Nick Fury is a fictitious character and it's impossible for you to do the things that Nick Fury did. Of course you can't, because there aren't people with superpowers, so to speak, but there are people who have expertise, who are super valuable in their industry and in the areas of talent and growth. And those are the people that you're going to want to attract. Those are the people that you're going to want to gather. Those are the people that you're going to want to assemble. Right? I know I'm listening to I know I got some Marvel heroes out there. You may know what I'm talking about. You want to have your team assembled. You want to have them ready to go. When you look at some of the illustrations I have up here, you're going to see, you want your own round table. You want your own knights. You want your own people to be so smart, so talented, but to share that that intelligence, that competency, and that talent across the table with and for the benefit of one another, including you. Now, let's talk about these benefits, because when you look at developing and sharing and creating a Hero Council, there are several well, let me go back here first. One of the reasons why you're going to want to do this and do this exceptionally well is because as you develop a stronger and stronger council, as you develop a stronger, whether it's an advisory council or board or some type of organization underneath you, as you develop that, you're going to want to make sure that the people that you're working with and people that are working with you are super talented, because their talent and their expertise and their resources become leverage opportunities for you. Now, I've got a Leverage Up conference coming up in a couple of weeks, but I wanted to make sure you understood that when you're talking about leverage, you're talking about the ability to assemble resources, time, talent, and treasure that you could not assemble on your own. If you could do it on your own, I say go for it. But every time you're doing stuff and you're doing it all by yourself, even if it's stuff that you're good at, by the way, you're robbing someone else of an opportunity to grow. Robbing someone else an opportunity to perform and to shine. And there are people out there who have the talent and have the gifts and have the abilities to do so. Sometimes all you have to do is set the stage for them. Sometimes all you have to do is promote them. There are several different techniques and strategies that I teach all of my networking students how to maximize the value of the talent of others. We talked about, other people's money for years. How do we leverage other people's money? How do we leverage other people's money? And that's a great thing. There's nothing wrong with leverage of that. But what you really want to do is leverage their talent. And what you really, really want to do is leverage their trust. Because the faith and trust that people put in their talent and abilities, once you've assembled a group of team that has a high level of competency, a high level of performance, they have a high level of trust. And guess what happens when they have a high level of trust and you assemble that group of people together? All of a sudden, that trust becomes your trust, and the maximum amount of trust becomes your availability for trust grows astronomically. I want you to think of this. Stephen M. R. Covey wrote a book called The Speed of Trust. But you have trust based on your own talent, resources, and connectivity with other people, right? That's your trust meter. You have to measure all the things that create trust, right? Now think if you had assembled a group of superheroes, a group of super talented, super excellent, super strong individuals, all in their own separate industries, all in their own separate spots and places in the world, and they came together to work collectively together. What do you think the trust value of that group would be? Now, this is important because anything you want to get done, especially anything that requires a tremendous amount of energy, also requires a tremendous amount of trust. So I'm going to stick that in your pocket as we move on. So there are, I can't believe this slide showed up like this, are 5 basic benefits that you're going to want to look up and look for when you develop your hero council. Each one of these benefits creates tremendous opportunities for you, for your team, for other people as we work through those ideas and issues. Let's begin. Number 1, of course, there's development opportunities. Development opportunities for your business, development opportunities for yourself as a professional. You're going to want to have people on your team who can bring you to markets and bring you to new ideas that you could not find, understand, or even capture alone. Again, the multiplier effect that comes along with your ability to deploy your team and the strategies of your team is huge when you do this correctly. When you do this incorrectly, however, you can have a problem. This is why people don't do it in the first place. One of the reasons why people don't value and create a team of experts around them is because they're afraid. They're afraid they're going to lose something. They're afraid that people aren't going to be loyal. They're afraid that they're going to somehow take a couple steps backwards in order to bring others forward. And that's a problem, I think, that you got to work through, because really, that's not how we function. And you're going to figure out a little later on as I move through this why that's true. Of course, then there's strategic development. Everything you're trying to do, every plan you're trying to execute, every strategy you're trying to do, every technique, every tactic that you want to use can be done better with a group of experts working along with you. They're going to be able to offer you the insight, the perspective. They're going to be able to help you figure out how to do it, whatever it is you're doing, and do it at a high level. They're going to help you understand how to look forward way beyond your own perspective and look into the collective perspective. Almost have yourself what I call supervision, right? Because you'll be able to work with the teams. And if you communicate effectively, you do all the things that the values that we're going to talk about a little bit later, not only will you be able to grow professionally and personally, right? But you'll be able to envision and see the possibilities of that growth in ways that you can't all alone. This is powerful. You know, a lot of people have a hard time with their own vision. But imagine if you were in a collective of a group of people who had tremendous abilities. You know, you can see that along with other people, right? Much faster sometimes than you might be able to even see yourself. You know, I can always look at people with talent and I ask myself the question, well, man, if they turn that thing on, whatever that talent is, that gift that they have is, and they dialed it up and turned it up to like level 10, what would happen for them in their lives? What would be possible? And it's easy to see. It's easy to see somebody with talent and go, okay, what is the trajectory? You can see them on the stage winning awards. You can see them, you know, being able to enjoy a lifestyle that they might not be able to enjoy today. So all it really matters at that point is who can you surround them with, or who can anybody surround them with that can help them put that talent on the right stage, or put that talent to the right usage in the right way at the right time for the right reason to accomplish amazing results. That's really all it's about. It's about situational awareness, and it's about understanding how you can take talent and move it forward. But you can't do it without number three. Number three, you got to be able to have that outside perspective, because your perspective, quite frankly, is limited. No matter how open-minded you are, you're only limited to your perspective. Now, I heard years ago in a couple sales conferences I attended, and the trainers were always talking, like Brian Tracy and others, were always talking about the level of your success is literally capped by your belief. And you can only believe what you can see and imagine. So think about this. If you had a team of experts around you, a team of talented professionals, high performing, high flyers, all speed, no drag type of individuals that you're working with, and they had all this collective talent, that you can see the trajectory of all these talents and collectively where that could go, how powerful that could be. Well, you also can see where you might be if you're their leader, if you're their Nick Fury. What could you do? It's endless, the possibilities, especially if you're talking about a group of, I would say, 12 to 15 people. Ultimately, you may not want to start that way, because you can only assemble one member of the Hero Council at a time. You might want to start with a core group of people who can help you with your current strategy. And as you move forward, you might be able to help bring on new people who can help you with your future strategy. Right? That makes perfect sense. Start slow, increase the momentum, increase the pace, increase the intensity. And as you move forward, you can do this. But you have to have the right skills in order to do this. The other benefit that a Hero Council will offer you, a great Hero Council, is performance discussion. What I mean by that, you need somebody, if you're the leader, right? You need somebody to talk to about you. You need somebody to talk to about your team. How are you performing? How are they performing? How are the people that you're working with doing? And you need to have somebody who you want to be accountable to, somebody that you value their opinions, that you understand and care about what they think, because you understand that also they might be able to contribute their resources, their time, their talent, their connections to whatever it is that you're doing. And so you want to have people that you can talk to, people that will share feedback with you, people that will give you the benefit of their objective knowledge and their talents, right? You want that. If you don't have that, then you're, again, all alone, all by yourself, out there swinging for the fences, but you don't even know where the fences are. You don't know how hard to hit. You don't know how to, put the right trajectory on the ball. Whatever it is you're trying to do, you can do better with a group of talented, super talented expert professionals around you. The last and probably one of the most important aspects and benefits of a Hero Council is the blend of expertise. To be able to tap into a diverse range of valuable skills and competencies without the cost of hiring a full-time professional is magical. Now, specifically for you solopreneurs and your micro businesses out there, maybe some of you are in the gig economy and you're, again, doing everything all by yourself. You're the chief operator, you're the chief administrator, you're the chief marketing professional, you're the chief strategy consultant, you're the chief of everything. I get it. But again, there are talented individuals, there are great people out there who could do this, who could help you, who could be a significant part of your success. All of this, no matter what you're doing, you want to receive these benefits, you can receive them. But in order for you to receive them, you got to do one thing. And that's today's topic, really, is you have to think like a champion. And if you have to, in order for you to think like a champion, you got to be able to embrace the values, the Nick Fury values. And these are the 5 core values. And if you look at how any of the Marvel heroes have performed, especially Nick Fury, throughout the whole Marvel universe, you'll be able to see Nick Fury had integrity. He believed in excellence. He understood the value of collaboration. He was super agile in his thinking and how he dealt with things, and he was absolutely beyond a doubt courageous. Let's talk about these. Now, if you're following this and you're able to see this, the blue sections of each of these categories is highlighted because there's research underneath all of those things. And if you want, I could send you the PowerPoint deck, but you're going to have to ask for it. I'm going to have to see you showing up in the chat. If you want it, find me. My contact information is right in front of you. It's scrolling across the screen. The only excuse you have for not playing is you don't want to really know it. You don't really want to really understand. But I've done the deep research on this, and I've put together advisory councils for years. And I'm going to tell you, the best of the best always have these 5 core values, and they can display them. It's important. More than display them, they can prove them. These are the 5 values that if you have, you need to be able to show up with them. Not just tell people, oh, yes, I have integrity, but show up with your integrity. How do you do that? How do you show up with your integrity? First of all, you got to understand what integrity is. Integrity is self-trust. Integrity is knowing internally that you will do the thing that you said you will do. First for yourself, then for others. But if you don't have the ability to tell yourself, to discipline yourself, to be accountable to yourself on the things that you're going to promise that yourself is going to do, it's very difficult to look outside of yourself and have trustworthiness, because outside integrity is actually trustworthiness, right? You may have integrity for yourself, but do you have outside integrity? Meaning, can you keep promises to yourself and to others? It's a very complicated process, but I want you to think about it. The only way for you to show others that you have integrity, right, is to make promises of them, or make promises of your make promises to them that you fulfill. That's a part of trustworthiness. But more importantly, make promises to yourself that you share with them. I said I was going to do blah blah blah. I did blah blah blah, and look at the results. People know you have integrity when you can demonstrate that. When you can demonstrate that you can keep promises to yourself, then you have integrity. People will believe that you have integrity, but you got to make those promises to yourself and then keep them publicly. It's as simple as that. Now, not only do you have to have integrity, but you got to lock this one down. You got to shoot for excellence. You cannot be looking for the bottom rung of achievement. You got to be looking to get to the top of the ladder, whatever that ladder is for you, your family, you have to be about excellence, aiming for excellence, shooting for excellence, striving for excellence, demonstrating that you can embrace excellence. Excellence isn't about outcomes. It's about input. I say again, excellence is not simply about outcomes. It's about input. It's about the tenacity, the resilience that it's going to take for you to move the needle forward no matter what, and to keep pushing, to keep striving, to keep growing, to keep changing, to keep doing what is needed to get closer and closer and closer and closer to your objectives. The faster you can get there, the stronger you can get there, the better. That's what excellence is all about. So in case you all wondering, I just shared it with you. It's that simple. Now, if you can embrace integrity and you can embrace excellence and demonstrate them both, right, in your performance, in your effort, now you might be ready to think about collaboration. Why is it important that you do it and think about them literally in this order? Not that anyone is more important than others, but they build upon one another, if you understand what I'm saying. A person who has integrity and excellence and embrace those in their performance and in how they do everything that they do, is ready to collaborate with others in a way that won't disappoint and let them down. Because you have to bring something to the table when you're collaborating. Nick Fury brought a lot to the table that, the superheroes did not have without him. They didn't have the great machines. They didn't have the great network. They didn't have the great, hiding places and, headquarters and all those different things that they had already funded through Nick Fury's organization. They had already created through his organization. What they did not have was the awesome talent that the heroes could bring to the table. But they had created an environment by which that collaboration made sense. And again, Nick didn't have to have superpowers. He didn't have to be mystical. He didn't have to be magical. He didn't have to, be able to fly or do any of those other things. What he needed, what he could do though, was provide resources. So others can come together and do their magical do, right? And so think about that. Collaboration. Are you ready to collaborate? Do you have something that you can offer? Do you have something that you could bring to the table? Do you have something that you're all about, all in, right? And now, talent to me, and I try to help people understand this, is just like a superpower. Whatever talents or gifts that you have it in abundance. You have more of it than you probably need, right? And so after you've satisfied your needs, then what you have left can be leveraged and can be shared with others. It's that simple. Think about how much of it, whatever it is you have, whatever talents, whatever gifts, whatever, abilities you have, capabilities you have, once you've met whatever requirements that you've got to meet your goals and your personal goals, then guess what you have? You have everything left for others to leverage, to enjoy, to deal with. And this becomes your value to them. This becomes what you can bring to the table. This becomes what you can offer in exchange for working with you. So think about that, because you're asking to leverage someone else's talents and gifts and resources and connections. You have to have a good inventory and understanding of what it is that you are bringing to the table. What time, talent, treasure, connections do you bring? And you have to be able to articulate that, because when you can do that, now you can move forward. You have integrity, you have excellence, you have an understanding of how to collaborate and a willing desire to embrace the collaborative ideal. And now you can show up with agility. Now, agility is another name for resilience. It's another name for, having that ability to keep pushing forward. It's about grit. It's about, commitment, and commitment not just to excellence, but to doing the thing that you have assembled this team collectively to do. And you show it by doing it yourself first. When you have purpose and focus and discipline and determination and resolve, you can pursue whatever you're trying to pursue and be flexible in that. You can pivot when you need to pivot. You can make adjustments when you need to make adjustments. So you show up as a person who's not just been around things, but through things. You show up as a person who's been forged in the fire of opportunity and success. There's a difference between people who say they want to do something and they say they want to be about something, but people who are. Agility matters. It matters to your focus. It matters to your ability to assume whatever you need to assume to be great. You got to have agility. You have to have those resources in order to do that. So you got integrity down. You got excellence down. You got collaboration down. You got agility down. What do you need next? Oh my God. The greatest gift that you could give to yourself and to everybody else And my point of view is this one. You got to embrace courage. You've got to, and it does not mean be fearless. It does mean, though, that you have to be confident and willing to go for it, to take the risk, to challenge the assumptions, and to embrace the change in anything that you're doing, right? This particular chart was put together for superheroes in the healthcare industry. And so you may see the leverage that people can get from this, but it really applies to everyone, whether you're in the medical professions or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But the research in this is serious. I see you out there, Lori. I can't wait to play with you, man. We're gonna have such a good time together. It's so great. One of my fellow coaches and superstars, Lori Smith, is on with us today. She's shipping in from LinkedIn. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for comments. If you guys want to really work with a super talented supercharger, you got to work with Lori Smith. She's the bomb.com. Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. And so definitely look her up when you get a chance. But you cannot approach anything in your business, in your life, without confidence. And that means you got to have the courage to push forward. You got to have the courage to do the thing that you say you're going to do and do it at a high level. All of these values, if you can embrace them personally and professionally, I promise you, you're going to have a much easier time attracting the members and assembling your team and getting your hero council in place. The next thing you got to do, and this is a high level understanding, but it's super important. If you get a chance to take the research of Matthew Lieberman, who's the nation's highest expert right now on why we need each other as a human family. Our capacity for social pain is what we're talking about. The loneliest, most isolated group of individuals on this planet, specifically in the UK, in the Americas today, are entrepreneurs, are business leaders. More importantly, those who are solopreneurs, micropreneurs, those small women, minority-owned organizations and businesses. They often suffer from loneliness, isolation. No matter how great they are at what they do, even if they're doing it for other people, the reality is they're spending a tremendous amount of time alone by themselves. This is why I founded the roundtable with my friend Darren, because we know that business leaders need a moment to come together with other people and associate and collaborate and communicate in a way that could be useful, not just to benefit and perform higher in their businesses, but to know that they're relevant in their space. Because we don't have that. Social pain is the same as any other pain. Over time, it turns into illness, and the illness will kill you. And there's a whole bunch of research behind there. But if you follow that link that I shared in the quote here, instead of being a kind of kryptonite, our capacity for social pain is one of our greatest superpowers. And that's true. When you can grow your capacity to work with others, you're going to experience less social pain. The less social pain you experience, the more wellness you're going to experience, quite frankly. And that turns into more opportunities because you can do it faster, longer, stronger than other people who are literally stressing themselves literally to death. And there are 6 counsels, 6 strategies that I always tell people that you got to embrace. We talked about these in former episodes, so I'm not going to rehash these in any lengthy format. But in order for you to really get your hero council rocking and rolling, you need a strategy. You need these techniques that are going to help you. The first thing I always say to people is you got to have a well-written highly articulated plan to accomplish the things you want. That's got to include your vision, your mission, your goals, your daily activities, your regular daily, monthly, quarterly, annual activities that you're going to be doing in order to accomplish things you're going to do. And then you have to have your contacts. They all have to be your highest, most valuable inner circle, have to be up to speed on what you're trying to do. They got to be a part of the process. When you have that balance correct, when you have the vision, the goals, the mission, the daily strategies, and the connections, and they're all working together, oh my God, you're unstoppable. It doesn't matter what you're trying to achieve, whether you're trying to achieve an A in a course, or you're trying to get $1 billion contract from the federal government. All of that's possible when you've assembled the Hero Council and you've put them to work correctly in a way that's going to magnify and grow all of your talents, all of your gifts, and all of your strategies. Last thing I want to share with you is this. This is me, guys. This is what I've been doing for the last 25 to 30 years of my life, is assembling heroes, creating energy and strength and resilience for entrepreneurs or business leaders, helping people begin to understand the value of professional relationships, and then using and leveraging that value. It doesn't help you to be a great networker if you can't turn on the juice and turn that network into a strength, a talent, a resource that you could use. Like I said earlier, once you develop the kind of trust that you can develop from creating an amazing team around you, you can leverage that trust to do things that you can't imagine, to experience benefits that, again, you would just not know. I don't know how many of you ever played the game called Cash Flow, or Cash Flow Quadrant. It's an old game that we played maybe 30 years ago now, but it was based on the Rich Dad Poor Dad program and book. So if you ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you know what I'm talking about. But in Cash Flow Quadrant, it really was about teaching you how to take control of your finances and live in a way that you can actually live your dreams. Most of us are just in the rat race, and we stay in the rat race. We stay on the struggle. We stay on the grind, so to speak, our entire lives. And we never get to a point where we're actually living our dreams. But you can get there faster, better, stronger than anyone else if you do a couple things that we just talked about and make sure that you keep your foot on the gas, bring the right people on board, stay ready, right? Get ready and stay ready, and create that Hero Council. Whether that council is going to be your advisory board or your actual board of advisors or board of directors, right? For nonprofit or for-profit, if it's just going to be a slate or stew of mentors or accountants, or not accountants, but consultants that you might want to work with, all of that is all true and can all work for you, and much better than you can do it by yourselves. But you've got to be willing to break out of your shell. You got to be willing to get rid of all of the negative, I can't, I won't, I'm not ready. You're ready. You're ready. And if you're not ready, get ready. And once you get ready, stay ready. And then do something about it. Okay, guys, this is Coach Powell. I hope you had a great time. If you want to follow up with me, you got all my contact information. It's right there in front of you. Looking forward to seeing you. Looking forward to talking to you. Looking forward to connecting with you. You want to take advantage of some of our programs? Listen, it's at your fingertips. I can't do anything more. Join me on LinkedIn. Join me on Facebook. Watch the program on YouTube. Share it with your friends. Listen, don't keep me a secret. This is what we do. This is how we grow. Then not just me, but the entire community. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Until next week. Next week, we're going to start the series as we get ready for New Year's. Right, we're going to start our series of planning and getting ready to plan for next year. And so you want a successful 2024, you're going to want to pay attention to what we're putting down. Look forward to talking to you guys. I will see you in the trenches. This is Coach Powell signing off. Do I have any questions? Do I have anybody who's out there got a comment or a thought that they want to share? Please, please, please. Thank you again, Lori. Lori says this. Oh, she says awesome sauce. That's one of my favorite phrases. How did you know? And so it's pretty cool. So good to have you guys on the call. Those of you coming in from all over the place. I really appreciate you. Really love that you're participating, engaging. And again, even if you're watching this as a recording, feel free to engage in the chats, whether you're watching it on YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever. Engage in the chats, ask the questions, because we still follow up. The chats are living forever. And so as long as the session lasts, so does the chat. Look forward to talking to you guys, and we'll see you on the back end. This is Coach Powell signing off. Have a great day, guys.